Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Down to Earth Gardening and Design. Welcome to today's video. So it is midsummer and the gardens are looking a little bit crispy and tired. So today we're doing a midsummer perennial refresh, what to cut back right now. So the gardens have been looking better. They were really popping early summer, but now a lot of them are starting to fade and looking a little crispy from the heat. But the gardening season is not over. So I'm going to show you today some perennials that we can deadhead and cut back and refresh so you can really enjoy your garden right through the summer into fall because it can still be really beautiful. So we have a few on the list today, and some of them we're going to just be deadheading, just cutting back some flowers and some leaves, and then some others we're really going to be giving them a good haircut. And I don't want you to be scared to do that because I really want you to get the most out of your gardens and your perennials. And a lot of them can flower again. And so by tidying up the appearance, you're going to let your flowers really shine. So right now it's really taking away from this perennial as well as others by having some of these spent blooms here. But also you are going to be redirecting the energy into putting out some more flowers and some healthy leaves versus the energy going into seed. So let's get started and just walk with me through my garden because I'm going to show you the plants here in my garden and how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to carry around a few tools. So what you need at home is, I like to use a garden trug or a bucket. You can also drag around a tarp with you for all of your clippings and your debris. We have some bypass pruners here. We have some floral snips, which I really like for the fine work, and then some garden shears. So a note on your tools is you want them to be sterilized. And if you're working on a plant where you see some powdery mildew, some bacteria, disease, or whatnot, you even want to clean them in between working on plants because you don't want to transfer that to other plants. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to come back here and we're going to end with this one here. All right, let's start with Catmint. So early summer, this one puts on a beautiful show, little purple flowers, and it's fragrant, it's very hardy. So I use this plant a lot, but currently it's not looking so great. You can see a lot of spent blooms that are very crispy here. And this one is pretty easy to cut back for a really nice rebloom. So if you look down inside the plant, you can see some really nice, healthy regrowth. So all of this nice new foliage here and a few hiding weeds. We'll take care of those later. But what you want to do is just get your shears out because you can really make quick work of this and cut it back. And this might be a little scary, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Cut it right back down to the new growth. So we're going to cut it back and we're going to mound it a little bit because this naturally has a mounding habit. Now don't be scared. The plants and the pollinators are really going to thank you for doing this. If you've watched a lot of my shearing videos, you'll notice that my preferred way to use my shears is upside down because I can get a nice curved mound here. Okay, so you can see how much I've taken off, but this one here is really going to pop back. Okay, so if you want to go in and you want to get rid of some of these stems here, you can, but you're going to get some new tall regrowth here and it's going to cover those right up. So if you don't have a lot of time for your gardening tasks, this is a really quick, simple one that you can do, and we're going to get a really nice rebloom from this one here. Okay, I'm here with our next candidate, and you can keep your shears out for this one. This here is hardy geranium or cranesbill, and this is boom chocolata. Love the burgundy foliage on this one. It'll get purple flowers. Now, Cranesbill geranium is not the same as our annual geraniums. So these here, you'll see some different varieties, a lot of green, highly textured leaves. There's another one called Roseanne that I use a lot with beautiful purple flowers. But this is another great one that you can get a rebloom out of. And all you need to do is cut back. So again, in a mounding habit, cut back the spent blooms on it. But that is pretty much it for this one. So pretty easy, right? Now, if you wish to, you can cut it back a little further. Don't be shy, because this one, just like your catmint, is really going to pop back. So you can see some of the new foliage down in here when you move some of these stems around. So it's okay to cut it back all the way down to here. So you could even go down by about a half or 2/3 on this one. Okay, next on our list is yarrow. So I have this nice little patch of yarrow here. This has only been here about a year. I got these on sale last fall, so pretty good buy. I have a couple different colors in the mix. But you can see here that there are a lot of spent blooms and some new flowers coming. So what we want to do here is we want to put our shears away. And we just want to focus on the spent blooms. So what you want to do is you want to follow the stem down and cut it right down. So the whole thing. So when you're doing this, you don't want to just do this and cut the head off or the flower. You want to go all the way down into the plant and cut the whole stem down. So this is a little more tedious, but so worth it, because we're going to get some beautiful new flowers, and it's just going to look so much better in the garden. All right, next on our list is salvia. So I'm here with my little patch of salvia, and I have to tell you that I have a little bit of critter damage. So we're going to cut it back so it will get a rebloom, and we're also going to tidy it up a little bit. But I deal with critters a lot, and so definitely more on that in the future. So this is also known as sage, and it has very aromatic leaves that do smell like sage, but they come in some different colors. A very common one is May Night, and this one here, definitely you can get a rebloom. It may be a little bit lighter, but well worth just taking your shears to it. So we're just going to cut this way back. And I feel like it's much easier to use some garden shears on this one here. Okay, so because we have some damage on here, or you may have some crispy dry leaves on yours and you may just want to clean it up, so now's the time to do it. So you can either use your pruners, or if you do have a little pair of floral snips, this is also a great option. So I'm just going to remove some of these leaves, and I think as we get in there, it will really help you see I'm cutting the stems back a little bit too, that there's some new foliage coming. And right now it's being hidden. Okay, I'm back over where we started. I still have a couple more for you after this, but I'm working my way to them. So for the Shasta Daisies, you also want to put away your shears because we do have some new flowers blooming, so we can't just go through and shear the whole thing. So I've really been anxious to get at this one because I feel like these spent blooms here really detract from this really pretty classic plant. And it just also detracts from the rest of the garden. So for this one here, we're just going to be cutting them right down, just like we did with the yarrow. So we're just using the pruners, cutting them way down. Now, I'm cutting mine way down because, to be honest with you, we've had some irrigation issues here this year and we were away. So things are pretty crispy, but you might have some healthy leaves. So what you could do is you could just cut them right down to a healthy set of leaves, but way down, hide them inside the plant. So you can see here how crispy mine are. So remember, by doing this, you're not hurting the plant. You're actually doing it a favor because it's going to be able to put all of its new growth into some healthy foliage and flowers. And the pollinators are going to be so happy too. So for this one here, we have two shoots on one stem. So this one's still going a little bit here, but just to show you, I'm only cutting back the one that's spent and I'm cutting it all the way back where it branches out. And that's what I've done with this one here as well. So multiple flowers on one stem. You don't have to cut the whole thing back. So on this side of the garden, it looks like these are doing a little bit better, so they must have received a little more water. So I have some leaves over here so I can demonstrate. So this one here, we can go way down, hide our cut inside the perennial, but leave some of the foliage. Okay, so the next two on my list will benefit from some consistent deadheading as it flowers. And so that will cause it to regenerate and push out some new flowers. So the first one of those two is Echinacea. Now I also want to give you an option with this one here. So I have done a little bit of deadheading. And so first I want to talk about how you deadhead this one. And really you can just snip off the blooms. So here, let me show you. Or you can go back to a healthy set of leaves even lower, like depending on how many of the blooms are spent on this stalk. So I might go way down to here. Or you can completely remove the stem, just like I did with the Shastas. So the next one I want to talk about is very similar. and that is Rudbeckia, so black-eyed Susans. So this is another favorite that also benefits from consistent deadheading, and it will help it redirect its energy into pushing out some more flowers. And then we can have long-lasting blooms on both the Echinacea and the Rudbeckia right through late summer and into fall. Now, I wanted to give you an option because the other option is, as it gets to be the end of the summer, you may want to leave the cones. So once the petals are gone, so this one here, it'll lose its petals and it'll just have the cones. Now the cones are great food for especially the goldfinches. So they love the seed. So you'll get a lot of goldfinch action if you leave the cones on both of these flowers. But also they look great for winter, really pretty winter interest. And last but not least, you'll get some reseeding. So a lot of this patch here has reseeded, and you can see it's kind of mixed in with my Asiatic lily in the back here. So what a beauty though. So now remember the first perennials that I showed you, the catmint, the geranium, they are just going to pop right back after shearing. And then some of the others that I showed you today, you have to do a little more fine tuning with, but they are well worth it. So I'm so excited to be out here in the garden and sharing this with you. Thank you so much for joining me in the garden today. I hope I've given you some tips, and I'd love to hear about the perennials that you deadhead and cut back midsummer, that you've had success with them reblooming. So let us know in your comments, and thank you again for watching.